Cortina d'Ampezzo in the Italian Dolomites in northern Italy plays host to the Alpine skiing at the Milano Cortina 2026 Paralympic Winter Games. The fabled Olympia della Tofana course will provide a striking and eye-catching setting for the entirety of the Alpine skiing program. It's Para-Alpine combined day, and there are 6 medals to be awarded, 3 for men and 3 for women across 3 different sport classes: vision impairment, standing and sitting. Well, Alpine combined consists of 2 runs of supercharged slalom in the morning, then there's a break, and then there is a slalom run, 1 slalom run in the afternoon. And as the name of the competition would suggest, the 2 times are combined together to give us our gold medalists.
Alpine combined, the ultimate test of the Alpine ski races suite of skills, 1 high-speed discipline of Super G and 1 technical discipline of gates, and we see some fun warm-up activities going on the mountain.
So here is the weather, and it is below 0 at the moment, and as you would expect, because there hasn't been any fresh snow, conditions are icy to start with. But as we start to warm up through the day, as we look at the temperature at the bottom where it's just above freezing, as we get through the day and the temperature warm up, this track is going to soften and become slightly harder.
That's right, March is spring skiing weather. The snow conditions are softer. We will see that come into the performances of the athletes later in the day as we see them battle the soft conditions.
As always, plenty of spectators at the bottom, friends, family, and those that are just interested in para-alpine skiing at the Paralympic Winter Games. And there has been a tremendous atmosphere at the bottom. It's been fantastic, hasn't it?
Incredible. Yesterday, we saw the first Italian gold medal of the para-alpine skiing, and we are set for a huge day of action.
Women's Alpine combined, vision impaired, will get us underway on day 5 of these Paralympic Winter Games 2026. Let's have a look at the start list then for the women's Alpine combined, vision impaired. No reigning champion because Farkasova has retired. Stari won the only Alpine combined on the World Cup this year, while Chiara Matzel, who goes at 2, is the current world champion in Alpine combined. Nine racers at the top of the start list, and if you don't finish the Super G part of the race, you can't take part in the slalom. So let's have a look at the course on this iconic Tofana piece. The races start at just over 2,000 meters on the Duca d'Aosta jump. The key sections are the turns out of Scarpadon and into Festus, as well as the rollers in Romello at the bottom of the course, just after time split 3. This is Scarpadon, and as we work our way through, there's a roller that goes into Festus that could cause some issues for racers on Super G day. In total, it is 1850 meters long, 37 gates, with the course set by Will Marshall of Canada. We're almost ready to go on Alpine combined day, the 3rd day of Alpine action. First time we've had some cloud here. The women's vision impaired Alpine combined at the Paralympic Winter Games 2026 in Cortina d'Ampezzo is underway, and Martina Vozza of Italy and her guide Yelena Sabidusi are first out on track, and a chance for us to see these key turns on this track as they come through the traverse.
Some technical wide turns straight out of the gate in this Super G. Vozza and Sabidusi doing a great job navigating the top section of this course.
Coming out of the Gran Cavoni over to the time split.
Preparing, doing a good job keeping a nice high line Votsa responding really quickly to Sabadusi's calls, enabling them to maintain a good line and hold their speed through these sections.
Double gate in the middle of Festus will help racers maintain the high line. Coming into Romerlo. Double gate. Now there's a couple of rollers in here. There's one, and here's the second. There's a turn on it today.
And that is a key turn in this Super G. Athletes will really need to have precision line control through there to hold and accelerate speed through quite a wide turn.
A little straighter coming into the finish today. And across the line in 1:23.08. Have to wait and see how that pans out. Jana Matzel and her guide Nicola Cotti-Catini out on track. Well, the pair took gold in the Super G. Can they find another good run here? Look at that, 3.62 seconds.
Great rhythm between Matzel and Cotti-Catini. Speed carrying beautifully down this run.
You see the guide has a speaker around his waist, and this is going to be our new best time. 1:17.60. Her winning time in the Super G was 1:14.84, so it would appear to be a slower course.
Running a little bit slower. The snow conditions also a little bit different from yesterday.
Veronika Eigner and Lily Sammer of Austria, the next out on track. Eigner, winner of the downhill gold, silver in the Super G. Second in the only Alpine combined that they have raced this year. And she's got the green light. She felt she was a little low in the line on Super G day. Has she corrected on Alpine combined day?
Eigner and Sammer nailing the line through that key technical section lower down on this course.
1:17.6 the time to beat, and she is going to beat it, and she beats it by over a second. Eigner has laid down the gauntlet to her teammate Alina Stari. Bib number 4 is Alina Stari and her guide Stefan Winter of Austria. They were skiing really nicely in the Super G, but Stari hooked her left arm through one of the control panels and got upended. So she was a DNF. Will be looking to respond here as she can. And at the time split, she is 1.5 seconds off the pace of her compatriot, and she's run a little low in the line.
Stari and Winter just not quite the same rhythm as we've seen with Eigner and Sammer in the last racer.
Past the section that caught her out yesterday, but she's not going to get the better of Eigner over the final jump, and she goes third, 2.77 off the pace. Bib number 5 is Choi Sara from the Republic of Korea, along with Oh Eun-mei, guide. And Choi 2.1 off the pace at the second time split, and visibly looks to be travelling a little slower than those before.
Just not quite as reactive, getting off one ski edge and onto the next, and that is critical in these speed disciplines, being able to be agile on the long skis and allowing them to move down the fall line to generate as much speed as possible.
Now let's not forget that there's still a slalom run to come, and Stari is a renowned slalom racer. Choi is also going to have to make some moves in the second run. She goes fourth, 6.35. Baby number 6 is Alexandra Rexova and her guide Matus Duris from Slovakia. And they're carrying some speed here. Duris just getting a little out of shape. 1.88 off the pace at the first split. 4.04 off the pace at the second. Third in the downhill, third in the Super G. Rexova taking on the baton for Slovakian VI skiing from Henrietta Farkasova. Over the final jump and 1:22.27, 5.73. Glimpse of the podium for the time being. Next to lead the start hut is Mena Fitzpatrick and her guide Katie Gast. And Fitzpatrick, who hasn't done a lot of skiing this season because of a knee injury, finds herself 4.24 off the pace of the first split, and now 9.64.
Fitzpatrick's holding on to the skis a little bit too long, and that is costing her in the ability to generate speed down this run.
Fitzpatrick crosses the line, 1:30.44, 13.9 off the pace. Eva Niku of Greece and her coach Dimitris Rafensas, the next challenge. And 3.94 grows to 7.49. Niku in her second Paralympic Winter Games was fourth in the only Alpine combined on the World Cup this year. And across the line she comes, 1:27.48, 10.94 off the pace.
USA Margaret Gustafsson alongside guide Spencer Gustafsson.
The last of the racers in the VI category is Meg Gustafsson and her brother Spencer as guide. And 4.08 off the pace at the first split, 6.79 at the third.
Arrow, patience, arrow.
And the teenage pair cross the line and register a time of 1:26.19. They go into 7th position. So there's your top 3 after the first run. Veronica Eigner in first, Chiara Matzel in second, and Lena Stari in third. And they will go in reverse order in the slalom. So Eigner will be last out the start hut. But Italy in the mix once again between the two Austrians. So confirmation then of the Super G results of this Alpine combined. Veronica Eigner of Austria leads the way from Chiara Matzel of Italy, and Alina Stari of Austria is in third. Fitzpatrick will be first out the start gate in the slalom leg. Women's Alpine combined standing at the Paralympic Winter Games 2026. And here is the start list. Well, the Paralympic champion and world champion goes at number 2, Ebba Arsja of Sweden. Zhang won the only Alpine combined on the World Cup this season. Arsja, the athlete from Sweden, has never lost an Alpine combined that she's raced in. Michaela Gosselin of Canada in the start hut, waiting for this first run. There are 2 runs in Alpine combined. Supergiant slalom in the morning, slalom, 1 run of slalom in the afternoon, and the times added together will give us our podium. Michaela Gosselin of Canada gets the women's Alpine combined standing underway. And a chance for us to look at this course. Into the diagonale of the traverse.
Snow surface already starting to chop up a little bit. Athletes will need to keep an eye out for any ruts that might be happening around the key sections and key lines of this course.
You can see on the Grand Cavone, just from the old blue lines, they're being sent further to their left, more rounded.
Corsetta will have looked to take the hardest firm packed snow line down this course to optimise the conditions for the athletes.
Line roller coming into Romerlo, got to get the line right on that, and Gosselin does pretty well. The course set by one of the Canadian coaches, Will Marshall, and Gosselin doing a good job and crosses the line, 1:23.86. Ebba Arsja of Sweden, the next to challenge, and Arsja would have been looked a little disappointed with her bronze medal in the Super G, but she is on fire. She has won every race bar 1 that she's taken part on the World Cup this year. She's won 9 of 10.
Aggressive skiing from Arsja today.
Well, she's carrying 17 kilometers an hour more speed than Gosselin, and that is a big time, 1:15.85, 8 seconds faster than Gosselin. She's fired up with her Super G result.
Nothing quite like the disappointment of a race to fire you up.
Zhu Wenjing from the People's Republic of China, next out on course. And Zhu, we pick her up right at the top of Scarpadon coming into Festus, so given we picked up Arsja further down the track, tells you the difference in pace between these two. Zhu at the final time split, 4.1 off the pace, just gets a little light on the ski and gets pushed low, skiers left, coming into Romerlo. Well, it's not too bad from Zhu, who was 3rd in the only Alpine combined that she won on the World Cup this year. And she's going to have to make up a lot of time. 5.88 off the pace, 1:21.73 her time.
Next up, out of the gate.
Favorite number 13, Varvara Volenchikina of the Russian Federation. And Vornchikina, winner of the Super G. She's got low, she's got it all wrong. And Vornchikina, who was second in the only Alpine combined, yeah, she got light on the entry into Romerlo. And misses the gate. Aurélie Richard of France, the next to challenge. 2 silvers already at these Paralympic Winter Games. Can she find some time where she's 2.23 seconds faster than Asia at the first time split? Now, she was a little ragged through the middle section in the Super G, and it appears she's been a little ragged here because she's gone from 2.2 up to 1.01 down. And Richard's slalom skiing not as good as Asia, so she needs to try and get some time here if she can. 6.41. Aurélie Richard trying to limit the damage here. That's the corner on that blue gate, tucks for the line. And goes into second, 2.05 off the pace. Zhang Mengqiu from the People's Republic of China, the next to leave, and she's the winner of the only Alpine combined on the World Cup this year, but 2 seconds off the pace at intermediate 2. And 4.68 off the pace.
Quite as smooth through her edge set in Super G. Ideally, we want to see the skis gliding from turn to turn to minimise time on snow and enable acceleration. Zhang just holding on a little too late between each of these turn shapes.
1:15.85 is safe. 6.24 off the pace. There's some big time gaps from that leaderboard.
Proving to be exceptionally quick.
Quarto tempo per la rappresentante della Repubblica.
Kelsey O'Driscoll of the United States, the next to challenge with bib number 16. O'Driscoll had some success in Super G this season, winning the second of the 4 that were raced on the World Cup. Talking to herself. Just runs a little low though on the entry into Romerlo and has to come back to make the control gate.
This course set is a little more forgiving than the Super G standalone race. Still some key areas to nail.
Driscoll tucks into 3rd place with ski from the American.
Especially she stays in 3rd. Although
Petit of the Netherlands, bib 17. Petit in her first Paralympic Winter Games. And Petit 4.81 off the pace coming into the final turns. Over the final roller, 1:23 dead. 6th place for Petit. Podium for the moment. Bib 18 is Hondo Ami of Japan. Hondo, a third Paralympic Winter Games for her. Also represented Japan in rugby sevens at the 2014 World Youth Tournament in Japan. And Hondo is 6.38 seconds off the pace at the final split. 1:24.62 for Hondo Ami, slides into 8th position.
Japanese fans to Milano Cortina. They were supporting Ami Hondo really well. Back at the top, the start for
Andrea Rothfuss of Germany, the next to challenge. Rothfuss, third in giant slalom 4 years ago and the slalom champion in 2014. How close can she get to the leading times to give herself a chance in the second part of this Alpine combined? Running low left, has to start back for that blue gate.
Nicely navigates this technical turn through this section. Rothfuss, incredibly experienced Paralympic campaigner.
Rothfuss is 7.39 off the pace, 1:23.24. Drift and bite technique. Audrey Crowley of the United States of America, the 19-year-old at her first major championships at the Worlds. She was third in giant slalom.
Là, c'est ligne bleue, voir un poil au-dessus pour toi si tu veux. C'est ligne bleue, tu vois.
And 4.89 off the pace as she comes through these closing turns. Crowley. It's a little light over the final jump. 6th place, 6.47 off the pace. Anna Maria Rieder of Germany, the next to go. Second in the slalom standings this season. That's her strongest suit, but as you can see, she's just coming into Festus now, so she's some way off the pace of Arcia.
Running quite a wide line through this section, holding on to those ski edges a little too long. We see with the Alpine combined, athletes who do specialise in tech events stepping up to the Super G, and then also the speed skiers going down to the slalom. So it's the ultimate test of the technicians versus the speed skiers.
8.68 off the pace coming into Romerlo. What we have to bear in mind here is Arcia is the World Cup's best slalom skier. So 2 seconds Arcia's advantage over the next best, but 12.75 for Rieder to try and find or make up. Seni Vespi of Israel, the next to challenge. Didn't get to the bottom of the track on Super G Day. And at the second split, 4.22. As she works her way into the entry into Romerlo on this blue gate. We'll get our next time split. 8.84 off the pace for Vespi, who was Israel's first athlete to compete at the Paralympic Winter Games when she raced in Beijing. And once again, she's the only athlete representing Israel here. Oh, she's run very low, but there's a little bit of a gap between that red and blue panel, so she gets back to make that, and she's reached the bottom. 1:28.31, goes 11th. Guo Jiaxin from the People's Republic of China, the next to go in her second Paralympic Winter Games. Her best results have come in giant slalom. And Guo's 5.35, now 9.97 off the pace.
Drops a little low coming over that jump. This course set does have a little bit more wiggle room for athletes if minor mistakes are made, and she's back online now.
Yeah, the entry to Romerlo is quite difficult because gravity's pulling you skiers left and you really need to be going skiers right, so the line into it's absolutely key. Whoa, 1:30.06, 14.21 off the pace. Ali Johnson of the United States of America, the 31-year-old in her second Paralympic Winter Games. We pick her up coming into Festus. She was, what, 5.92 off the pace at intermediate 2. Now entry to Romerlo coming here, doesn't want to be too hot on that blue gate. That's a better line. 9.65 the difference to our leader, Eva Arsjö of Sweden. Over the final roller, and Johnson 1:29.54, 13.69 off the pace. So that's our podium at the halfway point. Eva Arsjö of Sweden with a commanding 2-second lead over the rest of the field, but she's still got the slalom leg to come. Oh, the Richard, always smiling, no matter what she's doing. Safe to say she's enjoying her Paralympic Winter Games experience, as is Kelsey O'Driscoll, who currently sits in third. So the women's Alpine combined standing result after the Super G run. Arsjö with a 2-second lead over Richard. Driscoll in third with, a couple of seconds over Zhu in fourth. Women's Alpine combined sitting at the Paralympic Winter Games 2026, and we have just 7 racers on the start list for this one. Annalena Forster, who goes third, is the Alpine combined Paralympic champion. She's also the world champion. Pascal Secco, who goes at 5, won the only Alpine combined this season and won the gold in the Super G. Well, on the form book, this is going to be another tussle between Forster and Pascal Secco. But of course, you have to finish both runs. Muraoka Momoka of Japan, silver medalist in the Super G here in Milano Cortina 2026, is first out the start hut in the women's Alpine combined sitting. And Muraoka racing or recovering from a broken left shoulder. That silver medal in the Super G was a phenomenal result. You can hear it's quite icy at the top. This cloud cover means that the track isn't going to disintegrate quite as quickly as it has done on previous days of competition.
That's right, the sun hasn't hit this section of the race course yet, and so it will remain firm for that little bit longer, which is fantastic for the athletes yet to come, particularly the men's sitting category, which is the final event of the day.
Muraoka was a silver medalist in Beijing 4 years ago and a silver medalist in Pyeongchang 8 years ago. With her coming through a broken left shoulder, if she manages to get near the top of the podium, it will be a remarkable result. At the moment, she's just trying to lay down a decent time trying to apply the pressure to those still at the top of the Olympia della Tofana piste. Good work from her as she stops the clock at 1:29.44. Liu Sitong for the People's Republic of China, the next to go, a 2 times bronze medalist here in Milano Cortina 2026 in downhill and in Super G. And she is 1/10 of a second off at intermediate 1, but she's carrying more speed than our leader Muraoka through the traverse. And will she get the benefit of the clock when she comes out of Gran Cavoni? The sit ski is going at a longer start interval than those in the other classes, simply because if a sit skier goes down, it's quite hard for them to get up. Now 1.62 for Liu Sitong.
She's taking a nice direct line, clean through her edges and really carrying that great speed down through this section.
Through the middle of Festus, just gets a little wrong on the line, and you can see it's pushed her lower in the line and late. And that is going to scrub off speed, but she's got enough in the bank. 2.87, the right side of the clock. Nice line around that blue gate. Racing from Liu Sitong. He just goes about her business quietly while Forster and Pascal Secco sort of battle it out. Liu Sitong's there or thereabouts always, and she's going to lead here. 1:26.29, 3.15 off the pace, up in front of Muraoka. Another good ski from Liu. She is the picture of consistency. Annalena Forster of Germany, the next to go. Now Forster won the downhill, but skied out of the Super G just after the second time split. So it's going to be very interesting to see how she takes the entry into Scarpadon. The course is slightly different from the Super G day. There's no jump, which is where she fell foul.
Skiing
in the Super G.
Skiing aggressively. Forster will be determined to make amends for the DNF in the Super G. Running a great line through this section of the course.
So 3/10 the right side of the clock at the second split. At the third split, it's grown to 0.68. Now she can let it run through Romero. These final turns, or just gets pushed a little bit to her right. (1:26.29). Forster chatting away to herself over the final jump, and she is going to set a new best time, 1.59. Good work from Forster.
Well, they're going to start calling the
Entry
first
into
place
Romerlo.
Forster at this rate.
Zhang Wenjing from the People's Republic of China, 23 years of age, second Paralympic Winter Games, was second in the slalom 4 years ago, so can she get a good Super G run in here? 900's the right side of the clock at intermediate 1. Here comes intermediate 2 at the exit of Gran Cavoni, but it's gone red, 1.82.
Technicality of this second section of the course where the turns become a lot wider. it's really important to maintain that glide of the ski edge in order to allow them to run down the mountain and hold and generate that speed through that section so you can carry it into the third and final section down past Romello.
Here comes the final time split, and Zhang is over 4.5 seconds off the pace. And the sound of the ski on the snow is different today. It sounds a little bit sort of crustier, doesn't it? Until we get to this point in the challenge, and then it sounds soft. But Zhang, outside 124.7, but how close can she get? And the answer is 131.71, just over 7 seconds off the pace. Audrey Pascual-Seco of Spain, winner of the Super G earlier on in the program here in Milano Cortina 2026, and she is flying once again. She was on the edge in the Super G, in which she won Spain's first Paralympic Winter Games medal, medal since Sochi in 2014. 16 goals now, all of them in alpine skiing.
Pascual-Seco really clean on her edge set, and you can see that through the aggressive skiing. She's really able to throw the ski edge from one side to the other through that turn shape, and it's reflective in her time at this stage.
She won the only Alpine combined on the World Cup this year from Forster, and she's 2.31 the right side of the clock. She is skiing with so much confidence.
Perfect through that tough right-footed turn.
Well, they're 1-1, aren't they? Forster beat her in the downhill by 0.05 of a second. Pascal took the goal, Forster skiing out of the Super G. Pascual-Seco is going to take the lead here, and she's going to take the lead by 2.82 seconds. It's another superb ski from Audrey Pascual-Seco, and it sets up the slalom run really nicely. No wonder she's smiling. That was epic.
Attenzione perché ne fila 2 secondi e 8 decimi alla tedesca.
Sailor O'Brien of the United States of America. The first World Championships in 2023. She was third in the Super G and the Alpine combined. So can she find something in this opening run of the Alpine combined in Milano Cortina 2026? 35.45, which is a long way off the pace at the second time split. She's still got to negotiate Scarpadon and Festus before we get a next check on her time. Great overhead view shows you how the track winds its way down. And this difficult entry into Romello. You can see the slope going from right to left, and they need to go from left to right. Especially in the sit ski, when you lose contact with the snow, it's very difficult to you can't correct yourself.
O'Brien drifts through that hard right turn, just costing her a little bit of time and speed on each of those gates with the drift.
121.88 has come and gone, but O'Brien 133.28 goes sixth. Anna Soanes of the United States of America, the last to go in the women's sitting Alpine combined. She made her World Cup debut in December 2025. 700ths off the clock at the first split, having gone through traverse. Where is she sitting now in proceedings? And the answer is 3.87 off the pace. That's 6th place on the mountain at that position.
Someone's not getting off the edge set and on to the other side as quickly as we've seen with some of the races before her. And that is a timely technical display.
The 6.7, that actually gets her into a 5th position, so she's finding good lines through here to those in and around her on the leaderboard. And now she's starting to really bring some pace to these final few turns. Setting herself up for the final jump. 121.88's gone, but where is she fit into the proceedings? 5th. Good ski. And within touch to Muroka as well. That is a good ski from Anna Sowens of the United States of America. So that's your podium at the midpoint. It's another super ski from Audrey Pascual-Seco of Spain. A great rival, Forster. Doesn't realise she's on screen, but Forster and Pascual-Seco in another battle. And there is Liu Sitong.
There's glass in front of us. You're going to have to do a lot better than that. Everybody out there in Milano.
So at the halfway mark of the women's Alpine combined sitting, Audrey Pascual-Seco of Spain leads the way from Annalena Forster of Germany. Liu Sitong in 3rd, Muroka of Japan in 4th, and Sowens of the United States in 5th. Men's Alpine combined, vision impaired at the Paralympic Winter Games 2026. Let's have a look at the start list. 14 racers and guides at the top. Bertagnoli, who goes at 3, is the Paralympic Games champion. Aigner is the Alpine combined world champion. And Michael Golas of Poland won the only Alpine combined on the World Cup this year. So, about to get the men's Alpine combines vision impaired underway. And you'll notice that the PA doesn't go during the vision impaired races so that the athletes can hear their guides. Connected by those Bluetooth headsets, you can just see the pack on the left-hand side of both helmets. Alpine combined, super giant slalom run in the morning, slalom run in the afternoon. And by late afternoon, we will know where our gold medals are going.
Come on, move, move.
Kalle Eriksson of Canada and his guide Sierra Smith get the men's Alpine combined vision impaired race underway. The first of 2 runs on this day of action at Milano Cortina 2026, and an opportunity to have a look at the top section of this track.
Eriksson and Smith aggressive straight out of that gate, maintaining a nice line coming through this top section of the course where you are able to generate some high speeds before you come into that technical turny section where we see the separation of a lot of the athletes on the clock.
2 medals already at these Paralympic Winter Games for Eriksson, 2nd in the downhill, 3rd in the Super G. Smith very calm in her guiding and her instructions.
Bring it out here. Wide.
Oh, that's a good turn. That's a really good turn from Eriksson. Impressive from Kalle Eriksson, 1:13.73. That's a very tidy run. That's a very competitive time, you feel.
A great run from Eriksson and Smith. That communication from Smith, perfection, and you could see Eriksson respond.
Neil Simpson of Great Britain and his guide Rob Poth, the next to challenge. And Simpson coming to intermediate 3, and he's still in front. He was 1600ths in front at the top of Scarpadon, and he's 1200ths in front to the bottom. This is going to be really close, needs to be precise and on point hit. This Simpson is disappointed not to win a 2nd Super G title the other day, and look how much time he's lost in the bottom section alone. Nearly a whole second. Giacomo Bertagnoli of Italy and his guide Andrea Ravelli, the next to challenge. 2 times medalists here in Milano Cortina 2026, 3rd in the downhill, 2nd in the Super G. This pair are skiing with confidence, and look at that time, 0.76, the right side of the clock.
Really beautiful connection and flow from Bertagnoli and Ravelli down this run.
Well, we've seen time lost in these closing turns, so Bertagnoli has to really be on point. And he, I think, has got into second. No, he got lead, 1:13.53. But he lost time in those closing turns. Half a second he lost.
First, next at the top for Republic of Korea will be Hwang Mingyu with guide Kim Jun-hyun.
Bib number 4, Hwang Mingyu, Republic of Korea, along with Kim Jun-hyun. And the guide Kim is the most vocal of the guides we have, I think.
Oh no!
Gone down.
Oh no.
Hwang falls. And his lens has popped out of his goggles. But he's, let's see what happened here.
Oh,
That's painful on that left knee.
yes. Just twisted on that landing. The ski's not held.
Hyacinthe de la Place of France and his guy Perrine Clar, the next to challenge. De la Place in his second Paralympic Winter Games. .97 off the pace. Over the final jump he comes, and 3.9 off the pace.
L'elenco di partenza ha vinto 2 ori paralimpici Milano Cortina 2026, l'austriaco Johannes Seigner e la guida Nico Haber.
So a little hold in proceedings for Johannes Aigner and his guide Nico Herbel. This pair are a real force. Johannes Aigner and his guide Nico Herbel of Austria out on track. A two-time gold medalist to Milano Cortina 2026 and already nearly 3/10 up on the rest of the field at the first time split, which comes after only 8 seconds. That's a remarkable gap.
The edge set of Aigner is incredible. It really allows those skis to run and generate speed, taking those skis straight down the hill as fast as possible.
But was a little scrappy on the traverse and is 1.2 off the pace. He's got a lot of work to do here, Aigner. Yes, there's the slalom run to come, but he'll want to be a lot closer than a 1.2. Nothing wrong with those turns, it seems, but has he made up any time? Yes, he has. 0.4 of a second. Same again in these closing turns would be nice, but Eriksson and Bertagnelli were quick down here.
He seems to have lost a little speed through that key turn. Let's see what the clock says.
Aigner trying to chase down 1:13.53. He's going to be outside it, but he does find time. 45 hundredths. That's very much in touch. Third place for Aigner at the halfway mark. Wang Xingdong from the People's Republic of China and his guide Chen Qicheng. 2.17 off the pace at the first time split for the 23-year-old. .25 off the pace as the guy just slows his pace to get the connection back. And just a little far to his right-hand side, gets it back. 5.91 off the pace, 7th place. Michael Golas of Poland and his guy Kasper Walas, the next to challenge. Now Golas won the only Alpine combined on the World Cup this year. 1.91 off the pace at the second split. At the third split he's now 4.18 off the pace. So Golas, the 21-year-old, in his first Paralympic Winter Games, trying to get as close as possible. He's a stronger slalom skier than he is a Super G skier. Stops the clock, 1:19.41, goes into 6th, 5.88 off the pace.
Next up for Germany, Alexander Raun and Jeremias Wilke.
Alexander Raun and Jeremias Wilke of Germany with bib number 9, the next to go. Raun, the 24-year-old, first Paralympic Winter Games for him, and the first time or the second time split at the top of Scarpadon has him 5.8 off the pace, and into Romelo it's gone to 10.3.
Drops low through this section. snow really starting to soften up down this lower half of the course.
Brown tucks for the line, 1:27.12 goes into 8th place. Miroslav Halaus of Slovakia and his guy Malos Hudik, the next to challenge. Wasn't a good day for the Slovakian team on Super G Day, with both of their athletes failing to finish. So Halaus 3.67 off the pace, 4th in the only Alpine combined on the World Cup this year. Currently skiing in 6th place. Can he find any time on those around him? Tucks for the line, 1:18.83, goes 6th, 5.3 off the pace.
Next on course for Czechia, Tadeusz Chris, guide Eva.
Tadeusz Chris of Czechia and his guide Eva Krizova, the next to challenge. This the 30-year-old, second Paralympic Winter Games. His first was in Pyeongchang in 2018. Didn't take part in Beijing, and 6.47 off the pace. Losing 3 seconds through Scarpadon and Festus. Chris tucks for the line, 1:22.27, 9th place for the racer from Czechia.
1:22.37.
Fred Warburton of Great Britain and his guide James Hannon, the next to challenge on this Super G course in the Alpine combined. And sadly, Warburton will be a DNF. Let's see what happens.
Runs wide. Oh! Let's hope he's okay.
James Hannon, the guide, is saying, "You okay?" And Warburton saying, "Yeah, he's fine." Disappointment for the British pair. So look to make their way out, and the Fredheads, as they are known, won't be welcoming Warburton into the finish area in Alpine combined day. That's your top 3 for the time being, separated by 45 hundredths of a second. The slalom run is going to be absolutely fascinating, with Neil Simpson of Great Britain just 6/10 slower than Aigner. So, well, Marek Kubacka of Slovakia was supposed to be going at 13, but it looks like he's going to be a non-starter. Yes, he is. So we go to bib 14, Maximilian Séger. Maximilian Séger and his guide Jeremy Mesta, the next to challenge. On it comes across. Changing the start hut as well today, different timekeeper. Maximilien Siget of Belgium and his guide Jeremy Mesta, the next to challenge. This pair have been friends for 20 years and they are attacking their first Paralympic Winter Games together. Good stuff from Siget.
Nice aggressive skiing from the Belgium duo, carrying good speed through here.
Now the Gran Cavone, here's the first split, or the second split, 4.23. Interesting different direction on these gates off the key rollers coming into Festus. Keeps the athletes in contact with the snow much more than they did in the Super G, where there was quite a bit of air to be had. Now the third time split, 6.81 off the pace, that's 10th on the hill. Guys having fun together. 1:22.31 for Siget, and the Belgian fans are delighted.
Okay, let's go outside.
So there is your top three after the first run of the Alpine combined. Giacomo Bertagnoli leads the way from Kalle Eriksson of Canada, with Johannes Aigner in third. 4,500 separating the top three. It is set up nicely for run two. So full confirmation then of the men's Alpine combined vision impaired Super G run. Bertagnoli leads the way by 0.2 of a second from Eriksson, who has 2,500ths on Aigner. Simpson in fourth, Delaplace in fifth. And we will have 11 racers in the slalom run of the Alpine combined. Men's Alpine combined standing. 26 racers going in this class. Let's have a look at the start list. And the Paralympic Winter Games champion is Arthur Boucher. He goes third. He's also the world champion. Seger, who goes second, won the only Alpine combined of the season in Steinach am Brenner in Austria. And the second run of slalom will be run in reverse order. Oscar Burnham of France gets the men's Alpine combined standing underway. Second Paralympic Winter Games for Burnham. Let's have a look at the track and where the key turns are for the standing races.
Nice run so far from Burnham, really carrying some good speed and flow through this Gran Cavone.
Just gets dragged left through Gran Cavone. It looks okay through there. We'll have to wait and see as we go through our top sort of 6 or 7 races. So Burnham inside of the finish now, tucks for the line and stops the clock at 1:15.60. Jules Serget of France with bib number 16, 1/100th of a second, the right side of the clock. At intermediate 2, it is a slenderest of leads for the man who finished 3rd in the Super G itself. First Paralympic Winter Games medal for him. Serget won the only Alpine combined of the season.
Drops low coming through Romello. That'll cost him on the clock.
Yeah, gets pushed late in the line. Serget trying to chase down 1:15.16, and he's missed it, half a second off the pace. French fans spoilt with 3 French racers out the start gate at the start of this standing race. The Paralympic champion from 2022, Arthur Bauchet, out on track, looking to make amends for his disappointment in the Super G when he was a DNF. But he is off the pace of Burnham at intermediate 2, but at intermediate 3, it's grown to 0.62. He's 0.08 off the pace at the top. And he's carrying about 5 kilometers less speed. Second best slalom racer in the standing category on the season, and he makes up time in the closer, 0.09 off the pace of Burnham.
Stati Uniti d'America.
Patrick Halgren of the United States of America, silver medal in the Super G. What a result, what a race that was for him. 0.63 off the pace coming into Scarpadon, and as he comes out into Romello, 1.61, just gets a little high. Halgren trying to be as aerodynamic as possible. Squeeze an extra few meters, 1.3 off the pace. I think it would be fair to say he's enjoying his Paralympic Winter Games experience in 2026. Thomas Gorka of Austria, the next to challenge. 4th Paralympic Winter Games for Gorka. And 0.13 the right side of the clock. Now Gorka is a decent slalom racer, so he just needs to be in touch. This is good skiing from Gorka. He's had the green light all the way down, and he has the green light at the bottom at 0.81, the right side of the clock. We have ourselves a new leader. Thomas Gorka has delivered in the first run. Robin Kusch of Switzerland, the next to challenge, a double gold medalist in downhill and Super G. He is 0.28 the right side of the clock, takes on the control, goes through, then goes down on the inside. Too much weight on the inside, and that is disappointment right there. He's not injured, he's just really disappointed. Yeah, just gets caught on the inside, doesn't he? Alexei Bugayev of the Russian Federation, the next to challenge, 3rd in the downhill.
Oh,
But he's had an error and he is out. Oh no, he's been flagged because
of course.
of Kusch. So Bugaev will go again. And Kush has hurt himself. I'm sorry that he's obviously hurt his knee. Well, that's really disappointment for Robin Kush. There's your top three at the moment. Brochard, Burnham, Boucher. And Kush is being attended to. Touches this gate here. Oh, he takes the gate across the knee. He's taken the gate across the front of the left knee. It seems to be the left, yes, the left leg is the issue, just above the boot. Okay, he's okay. It was one of those falls that looked a little innocuous, and you thought, okay, he's going to be okay. And then when you see him still there, you think, uh-oh.
It's hard to tell.
But fortunately, it would appear he's good to go. Real disappointment because Kush was second in the only Alpine combined this season. So Bugaev was flagged, so he was flagged at Grande Curva, so he will catch the chairlift back up. Gorka is our leader at the moment.
Just to remind you, Alexei Bugaev will get a chance to run again. He was paused.
Brochard was the 8th best slalom racer over the season on the World Cup.
Double champion already, not to be today. And now on your screen, Brochard. He's the leader at the moment.
So Kush has been taken off the track, and so Christoph Glotzner is the next to go. German, just 22 years of age. What can he do on this Super G leg of the men's Alpine combined standing? Christoph Glotzner of Germany on track. Glotzner, his second Paralympic Winter Games. He didn't start the giant slalom in Beijing, and he was disqualified in the slalom. So will be added motivation for him to get to the bottom of this Super G run. But this is a tough Super G course. As he comes across the traverse, you can see the front of his ski just juddering as he tries to get it to carve into Brancavone. And the split season 4/10 off the pace. Good line on the entry into Festus through that double gate. Gets a little aerial, pushed a little low in the line, and it comes at almost the flattest part of the track. And the deficit doubles to 0.8. Still very much in touch as he battles to make the blue gate. Oh, goes down on the inside. And that's the hardest side for someone skiing on their left leg to turn.
It's a very sharp turn. As that ski has bitten into the snow, it hasn't held his slid out.
Roger Puig-Davy of Andorra, the next to go.
Running very low and late in that line.
Now that's just coming out of the Gran Carbone. This is the entry into Festus. Puig-Davy 1.95 off the pace, and he has gone the wrong way. Huge disappointment for Puig-Davy. It's the first racer we've seen caught out on the entry into Romerlo. Next to go, Federico Pellizzari of Italy with bib number 24. Pellizzari, second Paralympic Winter Games for him. He was 5th in the Super Combined, as it was known in Beijing. He's got good speed. Can it translate onto the clock? Well, he's made up time because he was over a second off the pace of the first intermediate. He had a very slow start, but he's clawed back a third of a second. Can he find the right line through here?
Drops a little low, but he's carrying good speed. Nice aggressive skiing from Pellizzari. Beautifully done through that tight, sharp turn, carrying good speed through the final flats.
Pellizzari looking to chase down 1:14.35 and in touch. 1:02 off the pace. Good run from the Italian.
Just lost a little bit towards the bottom, but another Italian coming your way.
Davide Bendotti of Italy, the next to challenge his third Paralympic Winter Games. Best result for him at the Paralympic Winter Games was a 12th in the slalom in Pyeongchang in 2018. .53.38. In touch, 0.9. Just lost a little bit of time. 1400 through the middle third. Bendotti showing those riggers out in front. Little correction, that's a good time, 0.87, separated by 300 of a second from Brochet, goes into third. Andrew Harahay now of the United States of America. And Harahay he's missed a gate, is he? Yes, he must have. Let's have another look. That goes down on the entry into the... Well, no, he hasn't missed a gate. He would be.
No, he's just gone down.
Yeah, so Harahay will be, yeah, he's gone as a DNF.
27 will be followed by bib 21 for a relay.
A confirmation there over the radio that Bugayev will go after Rachbauer. So Rachbauer getting ready to challenge. Manuel Rachbauer of Austria, the 25-year-old, out on track. Rachbauer, second Paralympic Winter Games. For him, raced the technical events in Beijing in 2022. Can he give himself the platform to put together a slalom run? Just gets a little late in the line. Had to get hard on that right ski. Look how it just judders around on that hard track. .16 off the pace. Better line through here. So the next time split comes here on the entry into Romerlo. 4.67. Oh, he's getting pushed low, 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 and he hasn't made the blue gate. Oh! Well, evasive action to avoid the advertising boarding. He's done well to get past that. Alexei Bugayev of the Russian Federation, the next to go, having to just adjust himself, having been flagged in the entry into Gran Cavone.
Really nice run, aggressive skiing. He's moving quickly down this track.
Bugayev, 1.58, the right side of the clock. He's absolutely flying here, the Russian. Bugayev, oh, has to spend a long time on that right ski to get the orange control panel. Has it cost him, or is he going to take the lead away from Gosha? 1:14.35, the next to come. Oh yes, 1:13.10, that's the new best. Over a second, that's impressive from Bugayev.
Even more impressive to do it as a rerun.
Well, a second and a quarter faster than anybody else yet. Look how low and dynamic he is. Let's all move around on the chairs. Guillaume Brassin of France, the next to go. His best results at the Paralympic Winter Games is 7th in the slalom, but it looks like he's taken out one of the control panels and gone down. Coming out of Delta, gets pushed wide, catches an edge, yep, straight through the gate. Brassin, who's, the airbag is deployed as well under his suit, and so he looks like Popeye. Oh, that was a super ski from Bugayev. Yeah, those skis just grab the snow and just turn him beautifully. There's not a lot of sliding going on there.
Incredible run.
Yeah, that's what the skiers are trying to do. Those that are recreational skiers, when they turn, they'll have a lot of sideways movement, won't they, with the skis juddering over the snow, and these professional racers are trying to get it to carve round.
That's right, a clean edge so that you can just glide through the snow. When the ski is joshing away, it is trying to dig in the snow but not holding that edge, and that does cost time, and over an entirety of a race course that time will add up.
Yeah, speed and time bleeding away on there. They're just trying to make use of the shape of the ski from the shovel to the waist to the tip, isn't it? Put that pressure on and then use the release of that energy to generate more speed into the next turn.
Exactly.
So another pause in proceedings. And it's Luca Palla who's having to do the waiting, the Italian. Palla looking pretty relaxed in the start gate. Luca Palla of Italy on track, the 40-year-old in his first Paralympic Winter Games. What can he do in the Super G part of the Alpine combined? Just gets a little pushed out of position on the entry into Delta, and he's paying the price for it subsequently here, isn't he?
Dropping low through that line, doing a good job to fight and really try and keep on those skis and regain that line control.
Yeah, 2.14 at the first split. An outside ski, just breaking away from better on these flatter gates where he's getting them to carve. 3.25 off the pace, goes down on the inside. Oh, he's just made it. No, he's made it. He's just made it. That's a great recovery from Palla, but that's going to have cost him time. But at the home Paralympic Winter Games, you want to be at the bottom receiving the cheers.
And you also want to make it through to the slalom run where anything could happen.
Palla survives, 4.54.
Some great recoveries in there.
That's a great recovery. Bib number 30 is Jesse Keefe of the United States of America, the 21-year-old in his second Paralympic Winter Games, but I'm afraid he's come to grief in Festus. What's happened here then? He's had a ski release. And a ski release as he's gone into that right footer. There's a racer coming. Yeah, they're going to have to wait. They can go now. Let's have another look from the reverse angle. Yeah, just releases. It's a disappointment for Keefe as he skis out. We've had 16 down, 9 have finished, 7 are DNFs. It's funny, isn't it, how you sometimes get a high attrition in one class and not another?
That's right.
This is the Japan racer Koike Kakuta. Koike Kakuta of Japan out on track, the 43-year-old who has represented Japan at every Paralympic Winter Games since 2006.
Ooh, drops wide. Ooh.
He's going to be very late now, and the recovery, he's still in. Still in. But he has no speed at all to carry through the traverse. Like you say, looking to just be involved in the slalom run, because you never know what can happen. Given the magnitude of his mistake, 4.89, not that far off the pace. I suspect it might compound through Scarpadon and Festus here.
That's right, we'll see the impact of the loss of speed, particularly carry through these slightly flatter and wider sections.
Amazing to see how that right-footed turn in Delta, if you don't get the right line in there, it affects the rest of the run.
It really costs you. That's the technicality of speed.
Goike is down and 10th position, 8.85 off the pace. Not a surprise given the magnitude of the error at the top.
Starts here where he drops it low and wide, just makes the gate, and then the carry on.
These are better turns from Goike. Spencer Wood of the United States of America, the next to challenge. So Wood, 3.54, grows to 5.77.
Nice line through the Romello.
On the back seat, but gets them down. 10th position, 5.8 off the pace, and Wood happy with that performance.
Next down course.
Emmerich Sierro of Switzerland, the next to go. So just 19 years of age. All his best results, or his most consistent results, have been in giant slalom, which is later on in the program at Milano Cortina 2026. Good job through these final turns. 11, 5.94 off the pace. All the snow coming off the tails of the skis as he makes that right-footed turn. Tyler McKenzie of the United States of America, the 34-year-old, and there's been an error. It would appear in the traverse. The errors look like it's coming Delta. Sun Hongsheng from the People's Republic of China, second Paralympic Winter Games for Sun. These are very, very difficult conditions for Sun to negotiate hard. Rutted piste. Not a bad line through Festus. Just getting pushed a little bit to his right now. He's got to get the line into a Merlot. Right, yeah, he goes out left, tries to come back right. Hard on that left ski. Yeah, makes the blue gate. He's keeping him on track. He's done a great job. Sun 13.75 off the pace.
Sun going into third position.
Yan Gong for the People's Republic of China on track, 27-year-old, second Paralympic Winter Games. Raced slalom and super combined 4 years ago. 8.02 off the pace. That's the final time slip. He's a little wide through there. Tenth place for Yan. Fifth 37 is Li Biao from the People's Republic of China. 23rd in Super G and 24th in downhill back in 2022 when the Paralympic Winter Games were in Beijing. But racing the technical disciplines as well this time round. Lee tucks for the line and 122.58, 9.4 off the pace, goes into 13th position. Arvid Skoglund of Sweden, the 22-year-old. He's out now. The traverse, it would appear. And that's Delta again. It's the line into Delta. Michael Melton of Australia, the 52-year-old. 0.38 the right side of the clock as he goes into the traverse. Milton, who took part in the 1988 Innsbruck Games, and his first gold in Albertville in 1992. And 4 titles in 2002. And at the second split, he's 4:07 off the pace of Alexei Bugayev. Milton picking his way down through this middle section. 8.34 off the pace. Milton nicely done over the final jump. 1:13.10. Goes 13th, 9.4 off the pace in front of the 3 racers in the People's Republic of China. Martin Kupka of Slovakia, the last of the 26 racers in the men's Alpine combined standing, and 5.59 off the pace at the top of Scarpadon, 8.24 as he comes into Romerlo, the 49-year-old, second Paralympic Winter Games, having raced in Whistler in 2010.
Doing a nice job with his line down this course at the moment.
Long flights off the final jump for Kupka, 122.82, goes into 15th position. So Alexei Bugayev leads the way after the Super G part of the Alpine combined. Thomas Groscher of Austria is in second with Burnham in third. So confirmation then of the standings after the men's Alpine combined standing race. Bugayev leads the way from Groscher in second, Burnham in third. And there could be some movement in the table that are pretty tightly bunched between sixth and third in the slalom run coming up later on this day of action at Milano Cortina 2026. Men's Alpine combined sitting. The first of the two races on day 5 of Milano Cortina 2026. Let's have a look at the start list. 24 races at the top. And Pedersen is the reigning Paralympic champion. He's also the reigning world champion and also won the only Alpine combined on the World Cup this year. He's also the best Super G skier on the World Cup this year, as well as the best slalom skier on the World Cup this year. So he is the overwhelming favourite for this one. But as we have seen on previous days of action, that doesn't necessarily translate into a gold medal. It has to be earned, and Pedersen will know that more than anybody. So that's Kurt Oatway bringing himself to the start hut, getting us underway, just as he did on the Super G race on day 4 of action at these Paralympic Winter Games 2026.
Start copy, course clear, 41 in 1 minute.
Well, it's nicely set up, isn't it, this sitting race for the men?
The run is looking good. We've had some incredibly quick times. Let's see what the sitting men are able to do.
They delivered a real spectacle on Super G Day. You get the thrills and the spills in the men's sitting category. We're all for the thrills, not too many spills.
Prove it, pal, let's push. .41 in the gate. Dodos, come on.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Go!
Kurt Oatway of Canada gets the men's Alpine combined sitting race underway. And the 42-year-old with a bronze medal already to his name and he's missed it. He's missed the blue gate. That looks like a really tight turn for the sit skiers. And Oatway, who didn't finish the Super G on day 4, is a non-finisher of the Alpine combined on day 5.
Incredibly frustrating for Oatway, that key turn. If you don't take the high line, you can drop down so low and so quickly that gate appears.
Let's have another look at it. Yeah, he's coming too hot. Sit skiers need to be further out to the right-hand side. I guess he's the guinea pig, which everybody else will now know. Okay, let's not get too hot on that first gate in Delta.
Take it a little wider, and then you can cut under it, setting up for that transition past the blue gate.
Oh, Canadian coach set the course, and that's a huge disappointment for Oatway and for the Canadian team. It hasn't gone quite as well as it might have done for the Canadian Para-Alpine team, has it?
plenty of action to come, but a frustrating day for Otway. You heard the coach at the top saying to prove it. And there'll be further opportunities here at the Paralympic Games.
Molly Jepson, of course, the Canadian standing racer in the women's category. She not taking part. She's came in carrying an injury and not going to continue, but she was big medal hope for the Canadians. Away with one, but hasn't had the runs he would have liked in Super G and in Alpine combined.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So let's have another look at this run and see if we can see Kirker go from top to bottom. Andrew Kirker out of the start hut and on his way, a bronze medalist in the Supergiant Slalom on day 4 of the Paralympic Winter Games 2026. What can he do on Alpine Combined Day? And that's a great entry into Delta.
Kirker having a good time out there by the sounds of it. Really nice line through this section and carrying good speed.
The difficulty with the sit skiers is, of course, they have the suspension under the rig, so that suspension will just ping you in the air. It absorbs bumps, but it doesn't absorb bumps like you could do if you were standing.
That's right, the shock absorption and the compression, a really important aspect equipment-wise for sit skiers.
Flies a long way off that jump and has to get hard on his edges to make the next gate. This is really good skiing from Kirker. Long turn on that blue gate. Flies off the terrain change. And here comes Kirker. 1:16.53. The time to beat. I think he enjoyed that.
Primo tempo di riferimento dunque.
Jesper Pedersen of Norway on track, the reigning Paralympic Alpine combined champion. Looking for 2 in a row, and he is motoring 1.27, the right side of the clock. Kirker's time, the one that he's trying to challenge. He won the only Alpine combined on the World Cup this year. And Pedersen coming to the finish jump, 10 meters or so off that. 1.8, the right side of the clock, very impressive from Jesper Pedersen.
Cancelletto di partenza, se lo fate forte il vostro applauso, lui vi sente.
Grenadine Silvestro of Italy, the next to go. His third Paralympic Winter Games, second in giant slalom and third in slalom. And Silvestro is taking apart the time of Pedersen. Di Silvestro also a strong slalom skier.
The Italian is flying.
1:14.73 is under serious threat. Oh, he's beaten it by over a second. That is impressive, and Pedersen the first to acknowledge. It's such a great slow-mo coming into the entry to Merlo. Suzuki Takeshi from Japan, who made his debut at the Paralympic Winter Games in Torino in 2026, the champion in slalom in 2014. How close can he get to Di Silvestro's time? 3.62 off the pace of the flying Italian. Suzuki. Comes to the finish, 1:13.65, the time of Di Silvestro, 4.62 off the pace. That's where the error came then, that was in Delta. Mori Taiki of Japan, he and his teammate Suzuki Takeshi have been brothers in arms at Paralympic Winter Games since 2006. Mori made his debut in 2002. Mori with that double gate, setting himself up for the finish. Straight line over that final jump. 1:17.94 was just in front of his teammate for the time being. Jeroen Kamscher of the Netherlands, the next to challenge, the gold medalist in the Super G. It was right on the edge in the Super G. Let's see how he's going today. And he's a second quicker than Di Silvestro. Well, Kamscher was really disappointed when he didn't finish the downhill. And he has responded superbly.
Incredible run from the Dutchman, really pushing aggressive racing.
1:13.65 to beat, and Kamscher has beaten it by over a second, and importantly he's 2.23 in front of Pedersen. Pedersen's going, okay, I thought mine was quick. Oh, that's another brilliant run from Kamscher. Nicolas Bisquer Hudson of Chile, the next to go. And Bisquer Hudson 1.21 off the pace to the Gran Carbone. And that's going to 3.62, more than double. Good enough for fourth on the hill. Bisquer Hudson having to take a longer line. He's lost speed, you can see. And he will go into fifth, 4.57 off the pace. Good recovery, Rick hits the deck. Bradley Kruger in the United States of America, the 36-year-old wears bib number 49. Paralympic Winter Games, 2.93 is now 6.49 behind Kamscher. Kruger setting himself up for the finish. Stops the clock at 1:20.46. 8th position for the American. Enrique Plante of Argentina, 4th Paralympic Winter Games. Hasn't managed to get to the bottom of the run yet here in Milano Cortina 2026. Pick him up in Festus, coming towards the entry into a melee. 4.72 off the pace. He runs wide on the line. Oh, goes down, recovers. But that's lost all the speed. You can see him trying to shimmy his rig along. And again, trying to get the pace back. But he's to the bottom for the first time here in Cortina d'Ampezzo. 1:20.73 goes into 9th. 51, Liang Zilu, the People's Republic of China. 2nd Paralympic Winter Games for him.
Washes out a little bit on this gate. Able to recorrect and get back online.
.62 off the pace. Made some big mistakes in that middle third, losing nearly 3 seconds. And Liang, 3rd in giant slalom and 4th in super combined 4 years ago. He's got a bit of work to do to replicate that sort of result. 1:19.09. Magnus Balchen of Norway, the next to go, the 26-year-old. We pick him up coming into Festus. 3.17 off the pace at the 2nd split. And that is going to grow substantially on the intermediate 3. 5.97. Balchen gained his first and only World Cup podium at Bardonecchia in Italy in January 2025. Comes across the line in 11th, 8.48 off the pace. Niels de Langen of the Netherlands, the next to challenge, silver medalist in the downhill. The DNF did not finish in the Super G, and this looks pretty tidy. He's 0.8 of a second behind his teammate Kampschur at the first bit, and now 99 hundredths just makes the blue gate. He's skied extra meters, but actually does that help him in the line for the blue gate? And again he's late in the line to Langen, battling, but he's carrying nearly 6 kilometers more speed than Kampschur. But it's the line that may cost him. 1:12.5.94. It's a Dutch 1-2 at the midpoint of the Super G.
Despite a few line errors, he was able to maintain and carry that speed down the mountain.
Louis Dagan of France. This is another athlete that could lay down a challenge here. 55 hundredths the right side of the clock at the first intermediate, over 2 seconds off the pace at the second. So it looks like there was a mistake in the traverse or delta that has cost him, because Dagan was 3rd in the only Alpine combined of the season, and he's the 2nd best slalom racer from the World Cup, so he needs to be close.
And at this point, if you have made mistakes, the strategy needs to change to minimising the impact. So trying to get down as quickly as possible so that the deficit you need to chase down in the slalom can be as small as possible.
Dagan will stop the clock. 1:19.53.703 to make up. That's a little shake of the head from Dagan. Robert Enigal of the United States now on track. Second Paralympic Winter Games for him. Enigal coming through the traverse, not carrying as much pace as Cam Stewart. And how does it reflect on the clock? 4.6 off the pace for Enigal. A 42-year-old who's been sit skiing for 11 years. Raced at the technical discipline slalom, giant slalom in 2022 in Beijing. Was 15th in the slalom.
That's a little low in the line, able to recorrect and make that gate. Will impact the speed he carries through this final section. Navigates that right-footed turn nicely.
Almost gets high-sided. Enigal over the final jump to stop the clock at 1:22.47, just short of 10 seconds slower than Cam Stewart, our leader. Number 56 is Matthew Brewer, the United States of America, 50 years of age. Second Paralympic Winter Games for him. And coming into the second time split, we pick him up in the traverse. So the last 10 sit skiers leave the start hut as the one in front finishes, rather than having two on track at any one stage. Because if a sit skier goes down, it's a lot harder for them, A, to get up. He's missed that gate. It's a lot harder for them to get up and or, well, get them back into the ski if the ski comes off.
The challenge also then plays into the remainder of the day and how to get a rerun in and then have the slalom component of the day begin, and so time does start to run away quickly.
Start copy, course clear. 57 in the gate.
5, 4,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Pascal Christen of Switzerland, the next to go. Christen, 33 years of age. Second Paralympic Winter Games for him. 9th in the giant slalom at the World Championships, his best result. He's just a little wide in the line through traverse.
Oh no, Christian's gone down. The ski bites. It looks like he goes into a rut and has just slid out of the course.
Disappointing for the Christen fans. So, Christen, as he looks like he's going to ski this all the way to the bottom. No, it's not. There's an exit stage left. He's the last of, we have one more Swiss racer to come. Josh Hanlon of Australia, the next to challenge. Hanlon, 28-year-old, second Paralympic Winter Games. Yet to get to the bottom of the downhill or the Super G, so he'll be wanting to make amends here today.
Hanlon going out in both downhill and Super G fairly early on in the race. So we're looking to navigate this top section safely and push further down the course.
There's a bit of a scandal in the Athletes Village, I understand, that Bruce the Emu has been taken from the Australian section of the Athletes Village.
Bruce is missing. He is 2 years old, brown hair and 172 centimetres. So keep an eye out for an emu roaming around.
And he's wearing a hat.
I believe a beanie.
Well, Hanlon doing a good job through this middle section that he would have raced in training for the downhill, but not sort of in race conditions, as it were. And 8.31 off the pace for Hanlon.
Did lose some speed through that middle section. A little bit of a direction check, which does cost in the speed that you are carrying down the hill. But good to see him getting through to the finish line and with a slalom run to come.
Hanlon over the final jump inside of the finish, and he's down into 15th position. And the Aussies have been waiting a long time to celebrate him getting down, and they can do now.
Yeah, runs a little wide there, does a quick little ski check. That does cost you with speed.
Tijn Speksnijder of the Netherlands, the next to go. First Paralympic Winter Games for him. He's mainly a tech skier, but he's out, I would suggest, by those turns. And that looks like the entry to Delta that's taken another one, another racer. There we go, the entry to Delta, and he's just run too wide. It's got that all wrong. There's no training run, is there, in Super G? So it's all about inspection, and let's not forget, these guys were inspecting the course about 4 hours ago.
The visualization, an important aspect, so that when you hit it, you know where you're going.
Well, I did see Oatway go out at that point. He was the first sit skier down this track. They do have screens at the top so they can watch. Christoph Damas of Switzerland, next out on course, 23 years of age, first Paralympic Winter Games for him. Racing all disciplines here in Milano Cortina 2026. So Delta has been negotiated. Now can he navigate the traverse or diagonale as they go from right to left to hit the Gran Carbone, which swings them back round into the main part of the challenge. Here is the Gran Carbone, this double-gated left-footed turn.
Just running a little wide through here, not quite as direct as we've seen some of the other races.
.12 off the pace, 16th position. Damas, last couple of gates, over the finish jump, and we'll stop the clock at 124.3, 11.8 off the pace, goes into 16th place. Blake Eaton of the United States of America, the 21-year-old, more of a tech skier, so can he lay down a Super G run that gives him a chance of a decent finish after the slalom run, which gets underway at 1300 hours CET. midday UTC on day 5 of these Paralympic Winter Games. Now 5.65 off the pace for Eaton as he goes into Scarpadon.
Dropping low. Does a good job to navigate around that blue gate.
Here is the final time split, 10.59. Was heading off in the wrong direction, just sees the blue gate in time. And Eaton setting himself up for the finish. Blake Eaton. Where's he going to slide into? Proceeding 17th is the answer, 13.37 off the pace. Little shrug of the shoulders with the look at the result, but then comes the smile as the directional change. Chen Liang from the People's Republic of China on course, the 28-year-old who was 6th in the giant slalom on home snow in 2022. And into Gran Carbone. And stops the clock 2.81 off the pace. It looks like he gets pushed wide to the right-hand side, but manages to pull it back.
Nova running a very low line at the moment.
5.84 now, the deficit.
Nicely done around the right-footed turn. Headed to the finish.
Stops the clock, 1:21.22, 14th position for Chen of China, 8.72 off the pace. Petr Trahos of Czechia on course, the 39-year-old in only second Paralympic Winter Games, raced only the tech events in Beijing 4 years ago with a best of 27th in giant slalom. And Trahos making his way down through Festus. Great view from that chairlift of the racers making their way down this iconic Olympia della Tofana track. That's now 11.49 off the pace and gets inside that blue gate just. Trahos for the line, 1:27.84, 19th position for him. So just taking a little bit of the pace off in the traverse. That's our top three. Victor Perel of France, who was the last to go, is a non-starter, so that is the conclusion of the men's Alpine combined sitting. And it is a Dutch 1-2, Kampschroeff from De Langen with Italy in third and the one of the pre-race favourites, Pedersen, in fourth. Di Silvestro in third place with the slalom run still to come. Confirmation of the men's Alpine combined sitting after the Super G race. Jeroen Kamstra, winner of the Super G on day 4, takes the lead into the slalom run later on today. Niels de Langen in second, Di Silvestro in third, Pedersen in fourth, Kirker in fifth. It is set up nicely, but there have been big time gaps, 2.23 seconds separating Pedersen and Kamstra. It is Pedersen's got a lot of work to do when the slalom gets underway later on day 5 of competition of Milano Cortina 2026. 24 started and 19 finished the Super G race. So those 19 will go in reverse order in the slalom race. Well, the Dutch fans will be absolutely delighted with the way that their athletes have performed. And they will be back in force when the slalom gets underway to cheer their athletes on. I wonder who they're supporting. The Italian fans also having a good day in the Olympia della Tofana course. It's been an interesting Super G race, hasn't it?
There's been some tight racing. There'll be some exciting slalom action for this second run.
Well, it's set up nicely in the Alpine combined. The Super G race has been run. The slalom race awaits the athletes, and they go in reverse order to decide the destination of the third gold medals to be handed out in the Alpine program of Milano Cortina 2026 Paralympic Winter Games.